Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's video, I'm going to be reviewing a 2023 Audi A6 Allroad. First and foremost though, a huge shout out and thank you to the strong Audi here in downtown Salt Lake for giving me some time with this A6. I'm going to include a link to their inventory in the description down below so you can check out what they have currently and also what they have in transit as well. They happen to be Utah's #1 Audi dealership, so if you're going to purchase an Audi, you might as well purchase it from the best. If you have any questions whatsoever, just ask for Landon or Mike, and then as always, if you're going to save time and money the next time you purchase a car, link to my car buying guide in the description down below. Let's get into it. So under the hood, we have a 3-liter turbocharged V6 that goes through a 7-speed S-tronic transmission. Fuel economy is 21 around town and then 28 on the highway, with power outputs being 335 horsepower and then 369 pound-feet of torque. Now let's go over the front end of the A6 Allroad. First off, I absolutely love this silver paint. It looks so good. Now you guys can see I've got this really distinctive body line there on either side of the hood, but other than that, everything's pretty simplistic from a design perspective. Now here's a quick look at the front lights. You guys can see with the daytime running lights and then with the LED headlamps as well. And then notice we've got some parking sensors integrated here into the front end. I think they did a pretty good job with the overall integration. Now this one has the black optics package, so you notice that the trim around the grille has been blacked out, but notice we still have the signature chrome Audi logo there with the camera just at the bottom of the logo, and then the trim here at the bottom has also been blacked out, and they actually do give you a little bit of protection underneath here with the Allroad. It's kind of part of the package because this is supposed to be like the go anywhere Audi, right? And well, there's the front. So come around the side here, we have a tire and wheel setup of 245/45/20 in the front and also in the rear as well. And then you guys can see with the design on the wheel, they went for a 5-spoke wheel, and it's actually multicolored. So you have this like silver ring on the outside and then it's metallic silver there in the center portion. So it actually looks pretty unique. Now this also does come with, well, it's kind of hard to show you, but adaptive air suspension. So not only will it adjust based on the road conditions, it'll also allow you to just raise and lower it as well. And then you guys can see here with the parking sensor on the side, and then notice how the fender flare has been painted and it contrasts the body paint, which is pretty cool. And then that continues all along the side. And then you can see again with another distinct body line right there. And then notice the trim around the windows has been blacked out. And then here's kind of like our full side view. So it has that cool like lifted wagon type appearance, hence Allroad. So here's our key fob for the Allroad. Notice that there's not really a lot happening there in the back, but on the front we've got like the Audi logo, the unlock function, the opening here for the rear hatch, and then the lock function. Press this a couple times and wow, that is surprisingly fast. And this is pretty cool. So we have a built-in cargo cover here in the rear. And then notice that the floor covering says A6 on it. If we actually lift this up, we have a little tab underneath. And you guys can see a little bit of extra storage space, I suppose you could use. I really like this with the metallic trim at the base. Now we do have these controls here in the back to lower down the seats, and look at those vacuum lines on the floor mats. I mean, that is top notch, let me tell you. And then you do have a little bit of storage space here on the side of the cargo netting. But yeah, overall, I mean, it definitely has like SUV levels of practicality from a storage space perspective. When you are done, just press that function and it'll close it. There is also the lock function, so you can lock the car and then close it. So let's finish things up with the rest of the rear. So you guys can see when I press the lock function, it does that little light dance, and then with the unlock function, it does another cool little light dance. I really like the look of the lights here on the A6 overall, just like super fancy. And Audi's really good with making fancy looking lights. And then we do have our regular badges there, so like A6 badge, we have our Allroad Quattro badge there. Try to say that 10 times in a row, Allroad Quattro. And then parking sensors here at the bottom. And then you guys can see the trim here at the very bottom. It's kind of like darker in coloration. And also look at the roof rails too. This thing's like all set up. There you go. Now here is the door panel in the rear. First off, we have the sunshade for the rear passengers right there. And then we've got leather trim here at the top and then wood trim down below. And I love the look of the door handle actually. And listen to that, when you pull it, it actually automatically unlocks the door. That is a nice feature. And then more leather trim down below with the contrasted stitching. And then here are these seats. So we've got these really nice full leather seats. You can see really cool design there in the center, not just straight lines, and perforated as well. And then popping in, ooh, plenty of legroom and headroom as well. And we got a little storage net right here. Now I just quickly turned on the car to show you guys, well, vents, but more importantly, we have a screen here for the rear passengers. So notice that we have our own climate zones here in the back. That is fancy. And we even have heated seats here for the rear as well. And then some USBs, and then we've got a little 12 volt. And then of course we have the most important item in any car ever, center console with the cup holder armrest setup. I mean, this will just the hallmark of a good car, you know. Anyways, also we have our own sunroof here in the back as well, which is pretty neat. And let's head to the front. Now here is the front door panel. You can see with the leather trim at the top and the contrasted stitching, then the wood trim down below, and then look at the metallic trim right there. And then we do have our functions here for the memory seats, and then also you guys can see the mirrors right there. It's a quick look. And then more leather trim down below. And I love the finish on the window controls. Definitely looks and feels very premium. We've got all of our adjustments for the mirrors. They do power fold in, and then that's just open up the rear hatch. And then you've got a speaker here for the Bang & Olufsen sound system. By the way, top-notch sound system. Like, yeah, it bumps. That's all I gotta say. And then here are the front seats. So again, you've got really nice stitching. And look at the design there in the center of the seat, and then down below. All of our power adjustments, and then our all-road badge right there. And I usually don't show payload stickers on cars like this, but I mean, this is an adventure vehicle and I'm pretty impressed. 1,100 pounds of payload. So like you could fit a bunch of passengers and a bunch of like camping gear in this, no problem. That's pretty cool. Pretty normal pedal layout. I think this is interesting for the hood latch release. And then you have your light control here, which I'm still trying to figure out because like, okay, that turns the light on, and then trying to get it back into auto. I mean, I just got it nailed pretty well there, but like it seems like it's got a learning curve. Anyways, steering wheel's power adjustable. Let's pop in. So here is our steering wheel for this Allroad. You can see really nice leather trim all around. And then notice the silver trim here at the bottom with the blacked out trim as well. Paddle shifters here on the back for that 7-speed automatic transmission. Some controls for the center stack, phone controls, voice command controls here on the other side. And then we have a bunch of stocks here. So we have like our turn signal stock, and then we have a stock for like the cruise control, and then we have the windshield wiper stock. So yes, quite a few different stocks, but there's a steering wheel. Now here is the center gauge cluster. This has Audi's virtual cockpit, which is pretty cool. So you can actually like change scale with things, which is definitely fun. And there's a bunch of different menus you can scroll through to see different bits of info on the vehicle. Now that's nothing that's too crazy. A lot of vehicles have something like that. Again, I think the cool party trick with this is the fact that you can like have a giant navigation screen here in the center, and like just pretty much any bit of info that you'd want to see, you can see. And then also like the fact that you can like enlarge or shrink the gauges just based on the simple touch of a button is also pretty cool. Now here's the center infotainment screen. So first off, if we pop it into reverse, we do have a backup camera with trajectory lines to turn the steering wheel. Now something I love about Audi's cameras is notice that as we turn the steering wheel more aggressively, the camera actually moves with us, which I don't know, I think that's a pretty cool feature. We also have this fun 3D view. So you guys can see exactly where we are, and we've got like that Q5 right next to us that we can also see. And yeah, I don't know. I think it's fun and obviously practical from a parking perspective so that you can see exactly what is happening. And also, I'm still in reverse, but I can like get rid of the camera if I don't want it for some reason, which is also quite funny. Anyways, you guys have probably noticed with the screen, you do have to kind of press in. So it's more like a mouse button rather than a touchscreen in terms of like the actual press function. Because you notice if I just do this, nothing happens. But you can also like slide like normal. So it's kind of like a mix between like having to like press in like a mouse, but then also being able to slide like a normal touchscreen. Now, some cool things is, first off, if we dive into the seats, notice we have like the driver seat entry assistance that you can just automatically turn on or off, like super simple. Some cars don't let you do that, which I think it's cool that it lets you do that. And then obviously with the drive select as well, we have a bunch of different drive modes. So notice we even have like an all-road mode, which obviously would be kind of like your, hey, we're going out into the wilderness type mode. And you can see that it's automatically raising the suspension to get it into that all-road mode. And since we're parked, let's quickly take a look at what the suspension looks like raised up. So you can see it actually lifted it. Look at that. It's the benefit of having air suspension. Yeah, and even in the rear too. Yeah, that's actually a decent amount that it lifted the car up, which is pretty cool. So back to the rest of the drive modes. You got normal stuff like comfort, auto, dynamic, right, for like sporty driving, and then individual you can set whatever you want. But I imagine most driving will be done in auto mode. But as for the rest of the screen, overall, other than like the click function that I think has a slight learning curve, it's really easy to use. You have the shortcut bar here on the side, and again, it's pretty intuitive overall. So we have another screen down below. This is an Audi thing, and this screen kind of contains some like practical day-to-day stuff, whereas this is kind of, well, I mean, it does have some practical stuff, but it's like more of like the media-centric screen. So notice we have like hill descent control, for example, which you almost never see on cars like this, which it's cool that it has it. You can also change with the auto stop start. I love how you've got this button that'll just turn off the screen up above, which is pretty cool. And then you also have like the garage door opener right here down below on the screen, rather than like up on a sun visor or something like that, which is also pretty fun. And you guys can see the dual zone climate controls. This also has heated and cooled seats, and then you got your drive mode select down here. So if you just want a button to press, you have a button to press, and then also the stability control right next to that. And then a little engine stop start button here, and then with the parking sensor and camera system, and then that's for some of the safety tech, and then your volume control. And it has a volume control. I'm glad that it's not all like built into the touchscreen, but I guess that's our double screen situation. Now here is the shifter for the 7-speed automatic transmission. It's pretty easy to use, frankly. So like I have it in the manual mode right now, and then if I want to go back into drive, you just push it back, and then park, you just press a button. A lot of automakers have similar shifter systems, so nothing too crazy in today's world. And then we got the park button, which again, notice the trim on it, and then a couple cup holders with another 12 volt. And we actually have a center console. You just lift up the lid. Some USBs are inside of that as well, which is pretty cool. And there's even like, it's probably hard to see on camera, but some nice stitching here on the side. So it's cool that they did that all over. And then we have a pretty normal glove box. And then notice this is Quattro here on the dash. And then we've got some wood trim here at the top. And we've got some more nice leather here at the very top. And then here's a quick look at the mirror. And then we have the sunroof situation. So again, double sunroof here at the top. And notice that we've got, well, I pressed it the wrong way, the shade for the back. So you press it forward to open up the shade. So we have two separate buttons for both of the sunroofs. So this one's for like the main sunroof, for example, so that it just keeps things simple. So here's our window sticker for this Allroad. You guys can see here with the standard equipment, and there's actually quite a bit of standard equipment. Typically German automakers will, you know, make it so that like nothing is standard, but it seems like almost everything is standard. And look at the warranty information here. So we have a 4-year 50,000 mile new vehicle warranty, which again, pretty typical in like the luxury segment basically. But this does have a few, sorry about the lighting, lighting's horrible. This does have a few packages added to it. So prestige package. This color, by the way, is called Floret Silver Metallic. And then we have the black optic package as well. And then after all options, total MSRP on this one, I guess it has an Audi phone box delete, is $75,260. That's gonna sum things up for a video on this A6 Allroad. Again, a huge shout out and thank you to the strong Audi here in Salt Lake City, Utah for giving me some time with this A6. Like I said, if you have any questions whatsoever, just ask for Mike or Landon. Link to their inventory in the description down below. I'll see ya.